$200 a month invested over decades can grow to over $200,000. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after turning 50. And the key? Compound interest. Einstein's eighth wonder of the world. I'm Damir, and today we're exploring the psychology of compounding, a powerful force shaping long-term financial success. And now, you might think compounding isn't that just a dry financial concept, but I promise you, understanding the mindset behind it will transform how you view money and time. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how compounding can influence your financial journey, whether you're just starting out or well into your career. So get ready to shift your perspective on wealth building, because this isn't about shortcuts. It's about harnessing the power of knowledge, time, and consistency to create a solid financial future. And hey, if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Now, let's start with the basics. Compounding is essentially earning returns on your returns. It's like a snowball effect, just for your money. Imagine you have $100 and you invest it with a 7% annual return. In the first year, you'd earn $7, giving you $107. But in the second year, you're not just earning on your original 100, you're earning on 107. So in the second year, you'd earn 7.49, which in total is going to give you 114.49. This might not seem like much, but over time, it becomes incredibly powerful. I remember when I truly understood this concept. I was in university and I stumbled upon a compound interest rate calculator online. So I plugged in some numbers, like just $200 a month invested over 30 years at 7% return. And I was absolutely blown away by the result. It was over $200,000. And that's when it hit me, actually. Time is the secret ingredient in building wealth. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The psychology behind compounding. At its core, successful compounding requires delayed gratification. It's about choosing long-term growth over short-term gains. Now, there's this famous psychological experiment called the marshmallow test. So, researchers gave children a choice. They could have one marshmallow now, or if they waited 15 minutes, they could have two marshmallows. The kids who were able to wait tended to have better life outcomes years later. And compounding works in a similar way. It's about resisting the temptation of immediate rewards for greater future benefits. But here's the catch. Our brains are wired for instant gratification. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us to buy now, enjoy now, live in the moment. And while there's certainly a value in enjoying the present, when it comes to building wealth, this mindset can be a real obstacle. Another key psychological aspect of compounding is consistency. It's not about making one big investment and waiting for it to grow. It's about regularly contributing, even if it's small amounts. I learned this lesson the hard way. When I first started investing, I thought I needed to wait until I had a large sum to make it worthwhile. But what I didn't realize is that I was missing out on valuable compounding time. Now I automate small, regular investments, and it's amazing to see how they add up over time. Now, this reminds me on one quote that I read in Atomic Habits by James Clear. And he says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." Building wealth through compounding is all about creating a system of consistent contributions and letting time do the heavy lifting. Now, here's where a lot of people get tripped up. Understanding exponential growth. Our brains are wired to think in a linear way, but compounding is exponential. In the early years, it can feel like nothing is happening. This is the point where many people give up, thinking it's not working. But if you stick with it, you eventually hit what's called the hockey stick moment, where the growth curve suddenly shoots upward. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill. It's hard work at first, but once you get it over the peak, it starts rolling down the other side, picking up speed and momentum. I actually love, for everything, I love using visualization tools. So there are a lot of wealth visualization tools online you can find, and they can actually give you a good visual representation of how your wealth and how your investment is gonna grow over time. Seeing that exponential curve can be extremely motivating. Now, let's talk about some psychological barriers that can get in the way of successful compounding and how to overcome them. Impatience is probably the biggest enemy of compounding. We live in a world of instant gratification, and waiting years or decades for results can be excruciating. To combat this, I find it helpful to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Celebrate the act of investing regularly rather than obsessing over the returns. It's like going to the gym. You don't see results immediately, but if you trust the process and show up consistently, the results will come. Another big psychological barrier is loss aversion. Studies show that the pain of losing money is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining it. This can lead to panic selling during market downturns, which can seriously derail your compounding journey. To overcome this, education is key. Understanding that market volatility is normal and even necessary for long-term growth can help you stay the course when things get rocky. I keep a note on my phone with some key reminders about market behavior, which I refer to whenever I'm feeling anxious about my investments. Overconfidence is another trap. It's easy to think that we can outsmart the market or pick the next big winner. But constantly buying and selling or trying to time the market disrupts the power of compounding. I learned this lesson through experience. In my early investing days, I tried to be clever and time the market. Looking back, if I had simply invested in a broad market index fund and left it alone, I would have had much better returns. So how do we put all this into practice? Here are some strategies I found helpful. Number one, set clear long-term goals. Having a concrete goal, like retiring at 50 or saving for your child's education, can help you stay motivated during the slow early years of compounding. Number two, automate your investments. Set up automatic transfers to your investment accounts. This removes the emotional decision-making and ensures you're constantly investing. Number three, use visualization tools. Regularly look at compound interest calculators or wealth visualization tools. Seeing the potential future growth can be incredibly motivating. Number four, educate yourself. The more you understand about market behavior and the principles of investing, the easier it is to stick to your plan. I try to read at least one investing book each quarter to keep expanding my knowledge. And number five, focus on what you can control. You can't control market returns, but you can control your savings rate, your asset allocation, and your behavior during market volatility. All right, we covered a lot of ground here. The key takeaway is this: compounding is an incredibly powerful tool for building wealth, but it requires overcoming some significant psychological hurdles. It's about playing the long game, being consistent, and trusting the process. Remember, building wealth isn't about get-rich-quick schemes or finding the next hot stock. It's about understanding how time and consistent effort can create financial freedom over the long term. So, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on personal finance and productivity. And hey, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your experiences with compounding. Have you seen it work in your own life? What strategies do you use to stay committed to your long-term financial goals, etc., etc.? Until next time, keep compounding that knowledge and those returns. See you in the next one.